Hey guys, it's Roscoe, and on the Space Coast here I'm going to be reviewing this, The Drums of Fu-Manchu by Sax Rohmer from 1939, and boy does it show. So, in this world, Nazis exist, Stalin exists, but Hitler and Mussolini don't. They're analogue characters meant to represent them. So basically, Fu-Manchu is assassinating various leaders who could cause a world war. I mean, for his own purposes, not for the purposes of peace. If anyone's going to cause a war, it's going to be him. And so Sir Nayland-Smith is on the trail of these murders, trying to get to Fu-Manchu and to prevent war. Now, his sidekick in this is called, Bart Kerrigan, and he considers himself psychic, which would have been useful if that had ever played any role in this book at all, but it doesn't. And he could have used being psychic to get himself out of some of the scripts. So anyway, I believe it's like an Italian general gets assassinated in London, and he's hearing the sound of drums leading up to his death, hence the title of the book. But they're unable to make any headway, and so they're off to Venice, where there's going to be a secret meeting between Rudolf Adlon, the leader of Germany, and Signor Monegassi, the leader of Italy. And obviously those names are very similar to the actual names of the leaders of those countries. They have been receiving notices from the Sifan, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, to cease their work, as it were, or they'll be murdered. And they get 3 notices and then they're dead. So obviously, this is a big secret conference, and Nayland-Smith, Sir Nayland-Smith, Fu-Manchu's arch-nemesis, wants to try and prevent these two being murdered, even though it would probably serve the cause of peace. So there's great scenes through Venice and all that sort of stuff. But basically, Adlon gets kidnapped, and he gets set up by something else that's quite frustrating in this. Women are not to be trusted at all. They use their feminine wiles to enchant you and take you off somewhere where you're going to be murdered. That's something that would have been useful for Kerrigan and the psychic abilities. But anyway, Adlon has been enchanted, as it were, by this woman, and he's off in the basement of Fu-Manchu's mansion, and Nayland-Smith and Kerrigan are trying to rescue him to prevent him being murdered. And this book is way too complimentary of the Adlon character and his ideals. There is a scene where Nayland-Smith and Kerrigan are like hidden and watching a scene between Adlon and Fu-Manchu playing out, where obviously Adlon's been kidnapped by Fu-Manchu, but you wouldn't think it because he stood right in front of Fu-Manchu, ranting in his face, saying his time is far too valuable to waste on Chinese conjurers. And Kerrigan wants to rush to his sides to help him, the great man beloved by millions in his country, as it's put. Yeah, funny enough, his books were banned by the Nazis, and he couldn't figure out why. He said, my works are not inimical to their ideals, and he is not wrong in that. Yes, so it fails, and Adlon is murdered. But unlike other murders that have happened in the book, where it's not that it's graphic, but his throat was slit and all that stuff. He died a terrible, painful, violent death. A body is found in the canal, and surely it can only be one person. So it's treated a bit too respectfully for my tastes. But they fail in that, and Fu-Manchu gets away, of course. But war is prevented for the time being. Also, the men in this, they're idiots. They really are. As soon as a woman is around, they lose all sense of reason. They fall for anything. They really do. Like the character Ardatha, who Kerrigan is in love with, although I'm really not sure why. I didn't even realise she'd been introduced until she's mentioned later. She also, there's a scene they're back in London, and the minister is in his car going to the ministry with a really secret important document, and a woman steps out in front of the car and is almost knocked over, but then he gives her a lift to her apartment, and anyone else would have done the same, as Nayland-Smith says, and of course she steals the document. Idiots, they really are. But yes, it's also full of the Yellow Peril menace, which is very distasteful these days, and Fu-Manchu seen being evil and the epitome of viciousness and all that sort of thing. But other than that, it's a great read. So I did enjoy the plot line of this, although, like I said, really bad stereotyping. Not just of, like, say, that Yellow Peril menace, but the Italians are seen as being like helpless and all that sort of stuff, and very loud and talkative. And the Germans are seen, well, that Teutonic ideal, you know, superiority, very much comes through with how he treats the Adlon character. Yes. But, I mean, other than that, decent enough, I suppose. 99 pence, can't argue with that, it's a bargain. But yes, the Drums of Fu-Manchu refers to the fact that in the telephone there's a tiny little gas bomb, that one of the symptoms once you've been infected is you hear drumming in your ears no one else can hear. Probably just your heart beat racing, your blood racing through your veins. But yes, the Drums of Fu-Manchu, I did enjoy it, given all the other problems there is with it. But I thought I'll just let you guys know. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment suggestion of what topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.